Hi, hello there. Welcome to my channel, Maze's Life, where I'm terrible at managing money but trying to get better. So with today's video, I wanted to go over my mid-year 2025 annual spending plan. So this is a breakdown that I got from Personal Finance Debt Over It with Layla. I'll have her linked below in the description. I'll also have my video that I did for the first, the very first video, which was just the only one before this, for 2025, where I go over my my spending goals for the year. But let's just go ahead and get started. So at the top here in, row 3, you can see from January to June, I have the amount of money that I brought in, not including any like cash or any gift cards, but money from my main job, my second job. I think sometimes I might include the money that my dad will give me for my birthday, for instance, that I don't think I got anything for my birthday, so I don't think that's going to be reported here. Sometimes when he comes to visit me, he'll give me money for gas, and I'll report it here. Sometimes I just won't. And it'll be just like free random money. If I have refunds, I'll include them in the actual expenses category. But this is pretty much it. This is the money that I make. Also, occasionally I make tips at work, and I don't put my tips here. That's just free random money that goes towards lottery tickets. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so those are my incomes for these months. Then here, my expenses. So, for subscriptions, you can see how much money I spent in any subscription purchases for the year. And then over here, you can see what my yearly goal is. How much I want to, not go over for the entire year. And you can see here that in the month of May, I pretty much hit that cap. I'm trying to see, what did I buy in May? I have no clue. I wonder if that was for school? No, it wasn't. I was at a Chegg subscription. So I don't know what that was for. I had to look into it. It might have been some sort of photo app, maybe, or weight loss app. I get got sometimes. But that's it. I can't spend anything else for the rest of the year unless I adjust that category. Then you can see here the total. I use this equation. The yearly goal, $20. The percent of where I'm at for that goal. And then the percent of my income that that $19.99 was. So it's 0.06% of my income. Again, you can get this tracker with Layla, and I have her linked below. And I link you to her channel, and then you have to go to her channel for her links. I just do that so that way she can get the points. I know sometimes it matters. But yeah, so I just link you to her channel, and then in her description, you just go to her website, and you can download it, and it's free. She has a lot more things than just this, where you can track your savings, your retirement, your HSA, your dividends, investments, the list goes on. But me, where I'm at my journey, I only care about tracking my monthly budget because this is my first time ever keeping and maintaining a budget, and I'm still not sure how to correctly keep and maintain it for savings. I know I've said that a few times now. But I'm just going to go over some of the major purchases here. So I have my personal beauty fund. That's for my birthday. I just wanted to go ahead and buy some things. Just a little spa trip ahead of my birthday. And then for parking and for work, so I went on a work trip in February and then they reimbursed me, but the reimbursement didn't come back until March. And that is just because I took a long time to submit my receipts. And it's not even receipts, I just show them bank statements, and I always take longer than I should to do so. Then some of the payments that I had here in April and in June, those are from school. So I did not plan to go to school in December 2024 when I created a spending plan. So I do not have a category for it. But I figured, hey, I'm only going to school to get promoted at work. So I'm just going to include all of my my education expenses in my work category. So my Chegg subscription, my book purchase, my classes, tuition, that is all going to be in this column, this row right here. Then with my next row item, this is just my renters and car insurance. It renews in March, so that's why it goes up since the previous months. Then my utilities, it pretty much stays the same with some changes because of water bills. Then for SMUD, this is my electricity bill. I rarely ever run my heat on during the winter months. I just put on a jacket and I call it a day. Inside my own house. I put on a jacket, sweater, sweatpants, and socks in my own house. Because this is how I save money. I freeze to death. No, I'm just kidding. I do not freeze to death. Alright, then I have my phone bill. As you can see here, I realized that I was being charged an extra line for an entire year. And so I called multiple people, complained multiple times, and got my bill reduced through a credit. And then it's now lower. It's not going to be $42.22, but I got a credit, and then I had to pay some extra fee or something. Then my fun category, it fluctuates a month. This is where I will usually pin a couple extra dollars if I can. But in the month of March, my birthday, that's why I had spent a little bit extra because it's my birthday and my best friend's. Then household, when you see these amounts here are larger every other month, that's because I got a house cleaner because I was getting sick and tired of having a dirty house. And with 3 jobs sometimes, depending on some of these months, and now school, I just did not have the time to clean my house, as well as I have vertigo, so I do get dizzy with tasks like sweeping and vacuuming. I can clean and wipe counters and dishes perfectly fine. It's stuff like sweeping and mopping where I'm looking down and my head is on a swivel that can make me dizzy and even nauseous. Alright, then I have my electronics and Wi-Fi, so I also called and argued to lower my bill because I have my Wi-Fi and my phone plan to the same company. So after I got done arguing one thing, I got transferred to argue another. Then I have my, I don't know why I was 132. I must have bought a new phone case or something. Alright, then I have my gas. The months where it's lower is just because I had bought gas at the end of the previous month and I didn't just travel as much. But it's going to start going up more now because I have my second job that I need to drive to. Alright, and then for gifts, so I had another best friend's birthday in January, one of my friend's birthday in February, my birthday in March, my mom's birthday in April. There's nothing in May and June, but this also includes stuff like baby shower and wedding. I think this February one was a wedding gift, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So I think I bought both of our, I think this is just for my best friend's gift. I don't think this was my gift. I think I spent it on my best friend. I might have given myself a little something, but I doubt it. Alright, then food out. I have, spent sporadically. More than what I should, but that's okay. If you can see where I'm hovering, it's notes that I leave to myself, but I go over these notes in my previous video that I will have linked below. And then in my next category for church tithings, I do not plan to donate to church or tithe this year. I did last year, but I also made more money than I planned to make this year because last year I had the roommate. This year I do not have my roommate or any roommate. Yeah. Then I have car maintenance. So this is any kind of maintenance, but also includes registration and oil change. Then I have travel. So I do plan to travel this year. Do I say where? Oh, I say a road trip. So, yep, we'll see that. And then for cats, this is just food. Like, I'll buy a big bulk of food so I can buy food every other month. And then litter every other month. But as you can see here, in the month of May, I talked about this in my previous video with my New Year's resolution 6-month update. My cat Hennessy did pass away. I had to put her down after she had several medical complications and after spending over $1,000 in medical bills, but my mom did give me money for some of them. It's not showing here, but like when I say I get like refunds, I include that in my expense tracker. Same with like if I receive money for a certain thing. So let's say this had $1,200 and then my mom gave me, $700 and something odd dollars. I just do $1,200 and then I subtract the $700 in that little area because that's what it's for. I don't put it in my expenses. In my income. That could be wrong, but that is just how I do it. And then in June, I decided to buy like better food and stuff for my remaining cat. Then, sorry if you can hear my neighbors. Alright, then for my groceries, you can see my groceries, they're sporadic every month. This month in May, I wanted to not eat out as much. As you can see, I still ate out quite a bit as a way to like grieve and cope with my cat. So instead I just went to the grocery store and spent all my money at the grocery store instead of eating out. So it was like I have to, like, I recognized how I failed in one area, and so then I tried to compensate, and I ended up overcompensating with my groceries that month. Then for my health, this is typically my copay of $15 plus any medicines that I need to pick up. I am on medications for my pre-diabetes and for my asthma and for my back and for it's for my asthma as well. I'm on a lot of medications because I'm trying to try out things because I'm trying to get approved for surgery, but my insurance won't let me just have the surgery. I have to do a whole bunch of things to get there first. Alright, then I have my rent. I expected this to go up in May because that's when my lease ended, but it did not. It's still the same. So I don't know if it'll eventually go up, and when it will go up. I know it can't go up more than 6% per California law. and that's how much it went up originally, because it was originally $13.50. But yeah, we'll see. Then I have my retirement. So I get a pension. So this is, I believe it's 7% or 7.5% of my income that goes to my retirement. I count this, even though it comes out of my paycheck before I get it, simply because eventually, once I pay off my debt, I'm going to start contributing to my retirement fund. So I just start now. I just start including all the money that's going to my retirement now. Maybe that's wrong, maybe that's right. Let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, you can see how much is in my retirement account on my financial milestones video. Then I have cash. So this is if I ever have to take out cash for like parking, for tips, but I haven't had to do that. This is my interest payment. So I had previously spoken about what actually gets applied to my debt. Kind of skipped over that. Oh, I skipped over a bunch. I went over. Whoops. So I skipped over my applied to debt. Let's say I did it on purpose. I didn't, but let's say. This is the money that I paid but actually went to debt. And then this is what actually got subtracted from my payment and that went to interest. I'm going to flip over to my 2024 spending plan. Last year I did not track that. Instead I just tracked my debt. And you can see here I had over $38,000 go towards debt, but I think it was only $14,135 actually went to debt. All the rest went to the interest. And if I had been tracking these interest payments before, I would have noticed that sooner. But I did not notice it until I did my yearly checkup. And I was like, wow, I am doing this all wrong. So it's also why I move money around. It's because I want to get this as low as possible. Some of the months where it's higher than others, that's because that's when I open up a new credit card, and that's like when the interest, that 3% interest fee hit. But then you can see it goes right back down, and then like the difference between this and this, it ends up averaging out after about 3 months. Or, sorry, it ends up being worth it after about 3 months. So if I am within 3 months of paying off a credit card, I'm not going to transfer the balance. But if I'm more than 3 months before I pay off the credit card, I will transfer the balance after doing this little experiment. I got a couple more times to do the experiment, but so far that's what it's looking like. And then lastly, I have financials. This goes towards any financial expenses. So if I were to get like a financial mentor, or if I would have to pay taxes. So that's what that is. And as you can see here, the income here at the top matches the income here at the bottom. Last year, if I flip over, it did not do that. You can see here, it did not do that whatsoever. Not a single month did it do that. Like here I had $8,000 in expenses, only $6,000 in income, but my debt went down. I don't know how that worked, but it did. In a way that meant that I was terrible at budgeting. But this year I'm getting better, but I'm also open to suggestions. Someone in my comments mentioned doing something about the cash envelope system, so I'm thinking about doing that for January. So in January I'm going to start doing some sort of envelope system. I gotta learn more about it first. I've been watching Cash and Calling, and I've been watching other videos as well from other YouTubers, but I printed off some of her minis, so I'm going to start using that in January, along with the other YouTubers that I found. I've been watching Cash and Calling Brittany. I've been watching Cash Bear Mama. She doesn't have a name, so just Cash Bear Mama. Cena's 2 Cents. And the thing I like about Cena's 2 Cents is her and I have similar debts. similar amounts of debts, and we also have similar amounts that we can contribute to our debts. And so if we're like on the same page in terms of like our total debt and like where we're going to be able to be, you know, in the timeline, so to speak, as long as nothing happens, you know, God forbid, you know, both her and Brittany are married, and their husbands at some point in time were unemployed. I think Brittany's just got employed, and Cena's, I believe her husband is still unemployed. Well, they say that they uncoupled. I don't know the difference between unemployed and uncoupled, but yeah, they said they uncoupled from their previous employer. And then I'm watching Budgeting with Elma, and she recommends a bunch of different channels as well, so I'm also doing the watch hour project, if you will, with her. But that is it. Okay, sorry to ramble there at the end, but that is it. That is my 6-month annual 2025 spending plan update. Thank you for following along. If you stayed to the end of the video, I'd love to have you join this debt payoff journey with me. So hit subscribe, click the like, and leave a comment down below if you would like. My next video will be out tomorrow. If you have any advice whatsoever, please leave it down below, as I would greatly appreciate it. But other than that, thank you, and until then, thanks for watching, and see you next video. Bye-bye.